Alright guys, this game actually came from the Worldwide Invitational 2008, which was last weekend from my point of view here in the early part of July. And the game is between C and Savior, two of the Korean programmers that were invited to the Blizzard Worldwide Invitational event in Paris this year. These guys played each other a number of times in this tournament and won various games and lost various games against each other. I won't tell you who wins this particular game. If you guys saw this match on Andromeda, then you'll know who wins, but if you don't, then check it out, because it's a very exciting game, as far as I know. Just pick this up from fighterreplays.com as usual. The reviews on this one were pretty good. So Savior is down at the right-hand bottom corner of the map as the yellow Zerg, and we've got C up in the top left corner as Terran, the orange Terran. Now over in Korea, C plays for NBC Game, the Pro League team there, and Savior is in CJ Intercent. Savior, of course, had a big winning streak over in 2006 and really made a name for himself there, and has not been playing as well since. He's actually been demoted, I think, in his team, and a lot of people really think that he's past his peak, and I agree. Sorry to say it, Savior, but I mean, that's what's happened, it seems so. I mean, in a lot of important matches, other players are winning these days. It's a bit sad, though, because Savior obviously played extremely well in 2006, and I mean, he really was dominant. And you've got C, who's an extremely good player at the moment. He's winning a lot of games in Pro League, and as they say about C all of the time, and I probably have to agree as well, that C doesn't do as well as in individual leagues as he does in Pro League. I'm sure you guys, if you follow the scene, have heard that phrase a million times when referred to C, but there you go. I mean, that's something that characterizes him. But yeah, Terran versus Zerg on Andromeda should be really interesting. The players have spawned cross-map. C's gone for single barracks. He'll probably scout out his opponent and then go for a quick expand. It's very common, and you see me doing that, and you see other Terran players doing that against Zerg. It's really a straight-up thing to do. It's very flexible. It definitely gives you an economic advantage if you can pull it off, and the Zerg is building Zerglings or something like that. So Savior getting ready to put down a third hatchery by the looks. Very typical thing to do in response to this kind of basic Terran build. So yeah, third hatchery. Andromeda, I just want to point out, has a protected natural expansion, which is mineral only, above your ramp, but below your ramp here where Savior C is expanding right now, that's the other natural expansion which has gas. So you can actually secure 3 bases fairly quickly on this map, and it looks like both players are probably going to do that. I mean, Savior will get his third hatchery down first, because that's, you know, how Zerg works. You get hatcheries a lot quicker than command centers if you're playing Zerg. But I mean, because you put down 3 hatcheries as a standard Zerg build order these days, you may as well put the third one down near the other minerals. So that's what's going to happen. Now, C moving out with 4 Marines. He's got an SUV in Savior's base at this point. He doesn't see any Zerglings being produced. He doesn't see any sunken colonies like that. So just want to sense out the Marines, partly to put on some pressure with the Overlords. Now that Savior's putting down the creep colony, by the way, he probably won't be able to get into a sniper drone or 2. I mean, that sunken colony is going to go down and be protection enough. I mean, Savior's probably had this done to him a few times before, so he knows what to do. Those Marines heading out anyway. I mean, if they find an Overlord in the way, then they'll be able to take care of it, and that'll be a bonus for him. See, putting down the Academy now, so just moving into this early game tech, trying to get some medics and fire bats out. Get ready to put some pressure on his opponent and scout around the map, obviously. You know, get rid of any scouting Zerglings from Savior. Now, Savior will be taking up the lair shortly, and he'll most likely be going for a Spire. Sometimes Zerg players go for the Hydralisk stand, go for Lurkers. Much less common against Terran. Korean programmers know that if they go for the Spire, they can contain the Terran a lot more easily and stand a much better chance of harassing the economy. And if you don't harass the Terran economy and you're playing against somebody who is as good as C, I mean, C's macro management is fantastic, then, I mean, you could find yourself in a bit of trouble late game. So C, still got his SFE alive. Really recommend sort of trying to keep your SFE alive in your opponent's space for as long as possible. Because Savior's only built a single Zergling, that's proving to be very easily done. And there's Evolution Chamber, which suggests to me that if you're building one Evolution Chamber before you're going to finish your lair tech, then it suggests to me that Saviour's going for his trademark very early hive style that he's doing these days. And a lot of people are saying that Saviour should really stick around with the lair for a lot longer, try and control the mid-game rather than rushing to hive and just getting dominated by players who understand that build and push with the timing. There's Saviour's Spire there. So just all of the hallmarks of this build are pointing towards the fact that Saviour's going for a quick hive and getting Defilers or Ultralisks or something like that, probably both. And trying to control the game that way. And he's putting down the sunken colonies because he knows that he's only going to have Mutalisks and nothing else to defend. C's going to have quite a large group of Marines by the end of this. And C obviously could just break through the sunken colonies if there were too few of them. So, yeah, this is going to turn out to be quite a typical Mutalisk harass into hive tech, and C will know that knows he's probably just scouted out what Saviour's up to. C's SCV will not have seen that evolution chamber because the sunken colony was below the ramp and the SCV couldn't venture down there. But I think C will know what's going on. He could put two and two together and will realize what Saviour is up to. Now it's just a matter of him stopping the Mutalisk harass effectively and then killing a Saviour's third gas geyser when he goes out to get it somewhere else on the map, and just pumping a lot of vessels, and he'll be fine. As you can see, we've got a factory there with no machine shop. So C is probably going to skip tanks altogether and just go straight for vessels. That's called SK Terran. I think it comes from the player Soul Key, either that or the no, it's not SK. Yeah, it is Soul Key who invented that. A lot of people discuss that on forums and stuff. Where did SK Terran come from? Most people point to the fact that it was a guy called Soul Key. And SK Terran is a Terran build in Terran versus Zerg matchups designed to deal with hive tech. You pump starport. Yeah, he's got one starport there. You'll be wanting to build a science facility next, and then get a second starport, and then away we go. But at this point, C knows that Mutalisks are almost upon him, so this is the timing that he needs to get turrets. There's Saviour's Mutalisks heading his direction right now. And C's just putting up turrets as well as that science facility, as I mentioned. And indeed, it looks like the top right corner of the minimap, Saviour's going to be putting down a hatchery just as far away from C as possible to try and hold that, and then use the three gas geysers to pump the hive tech. I was just about to say hair tech, combination of hive and lair. But Saviour's Mutalisk taking a few hits here. He unfortunately, didn't inflict too much damage in that particular run. As predicted, we've got a double evolution chamber, so weapons and armor being upgraded from Saviour, as well as Queen's Nest going down for quick hive, and he's got his new hatchery up at the top right. I feel like this is a bit risky against a guy like C. I mean, C's faced builds like this before and totally destroyed them. So we'll have to see how this goes. Second engineering bay going down. C knows he's going to be relying on a lot of Marines. Let's get the upgrades up as quickly as he can. Single turret there, just to fend off that Mutalisk, make it a little bit easier for his Marines to come in and support. Unfortunately, Saviour doesn't take out the turret, so C is just repairing it right now. But, wow, that's a lot of Mutalisks, so Saviour is actually doing a pretty good job knocking out the turret, knocking out all of those Marines before reinforcements arrive. But fortunately for C, Saviour just isn't able to get through there to take out a lot of C's defensive end. C's actually heading up a squad to the top right, so if he makes it there in time and kills the hatchery, that'll be a big bonus for him. But Saviour's forces are closing in, and I think Saviour's got enough units to take out the small group. C has not sent many men over there, and although his micromanagement and positioning is quite good, I think those Mutalisks and Zerglings should be able to take this out. And that was a oversight there by Saviour, not pulling those drones back. Easy target practice for those Marines. Ouch. Marine upgrades going. Saviour's closing with a lot of units here. I think C is going to lose his force. He's attacking. There's a sunken colony is there as well. And here comes Saviour with Marines, Zerglings and Mutalisks. And just picking things off one by one. C's going to lose this. The Marines are the Mutalisks have stopped micromanagement now. And there's the last of the group. So that squad's been eliminated, and Saviour's still got that gas geyser up. So that hopefully should allow him enough time to really get some gas influx. Now that's Defiler Mound going down, plus fifth sunken. Defiler Mound going down first. That's a pretty good choice, really. I mean, some people go straight for Ultralisks. I think that's a bit of a desperation move when you're at this kind of level. hoping to see some radiate now. This would be a perfect time for some radiate from C with that vessel ominously looking around. It must not have been upgraded yet. Just having a look. Yeah, he's still upgrading it. So that's just unfortunate. Didn't have it ready in time. Just back to the thought about defilers. Savior can use defilers crucially to prevent C from taking out his expansions. Just putting Dark Swarm down on the entrances and exits and over top of the units protecting the expansions. That will allow him time to get more gas, and then he can switch to Ultralisks. So that's quite a clever move. He's not really succumbing to any kind of pressure here, and just playing it smart, playing it safe, getting defilers first. And I mean, I say playing it smart and safe, I mean, that's relatively speaking. I mean, you could say that a safer way of playing this game was to stay at lair tech for a while and go lurkers first, but I guess Savior decided not to opt for that. Ouch! Ooh, radiate going down straight over top of those Milisks. Savior scrambling to just separate them to stop the splash damage from the irradiate, hurting himself. Ouch! Oh, he really took a lot of punishment there from that radiate, and I think C's probably got enough energy in that other vessel to cast yet another one. And wow, a drop just over